Alright, boys and girls, today we're going to work on the Mighty Turtle, and I think I'm going to do some exhaust tips today. Being that it is a 4-cylinder, I wanted 4 tips to come out the center, out of the bumper, like that. And I found this old FLOWMASTER muffler. I'll cut it up and make this work since it has the shape that I was looking for. If it's too heavy, I'll just cut it and shorten it. But I made this plate here. So I'll cut this out and I'll make a new plate. So I trimmed the plate up so it's perfectly square, and then I got just shy of 3/4 of an inch on each end. Tried to separate them the best I could, trace them out. And that'll go on there like that. And being that this is open inside, right there's the inside of it, the exhaust. It's not going to have any problem at all flowing through that thing. I might give it a nice sound too. I do have a regular muffler on it as well, and this will just be a chambered tip, I guess. We'll see how it works out. Probably sound pretty neat, I think. I don't want it to be too loud around town though. Yeah, and there's the engine. It's coming along. It's getting closer. Still got to do the wiring, but everything's plumbed on it. Alright, let me trim this up, and I'll cut these out. We'll kind of lay it out, and then I got to get the distance right on these so I can cut these down. Got my holes cut. I found a hole saw just a hair smaller. So if I'm off a little bit, I can just kind of gently open them up. And of course, when you cut your holes, now you got some extra washers. Nice, some big fender washers now if you need to. So I think I'll open these up just enough so that the tips will slide through them, and I can tack them from the back, and it would make it look really nice. See here. I think some of them are off a little bit, but luckily they're smaller diameter, and I can open them up with the Dremel and make them fit just right. Why I left the ends on it too, gives you some area to work with. Actually, I might do this. Actually, this way you can see the line. Let me do that. Nice. Okay. They're all done. come through like this from the back side. And I think that'll be good. I kept them all pretty close to that line that I made. So they should be pretty centered and pretty even. The gaps, pretty even. I think it's going to be alright. Let's see how it looks on the muffler. I would have liked to use a little thicker material, but I want to do this, so this is all I could find without getting too thick. We'll see. If it doesn't work, I can easily mimic this to a thicker piece. Like that. I mean, it just barely makes it right on the ends. Just like that. Right there. On it. I wonder now, kind of wondering now if maybe I should just put them right. I don't really want them right on each other. I could do that. It looks like I'm just barely going to make it to the edge. See, once again, every time I make something, then you kind of see something else that might be better, and I end up doing these twice most of the time. So this will work, but I see the edge of it, muffler's right there. It might slide in there if I'll go ahead and cut the rest of this out, and it might slide right in there. So let me grind the rest of this plate out of here and open it up and see what happens. Well, I kind of skipped ahead a little bit, but I ended up cutting the whole body of the shell off pretty much. Just a 4-inch section here. All the chamber is gone out of it. So now it's just a straight through. It might give it a nice little tingy sound, possibly. So we'll see how that turns out. So it turned out pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. It's all done. Kind of gave it kind of a like an organ look to it. With the staggered look, I think I like that. And next I'll put it on the car and we'll take a peek at it. Well, there it is. I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. Each one of those are 2-inch tips. It might have a little chambered sound to it, I'm thinking. It sounds kind of tinny when you tap on it. Yeah, in my head I was thinking they'd be spaced just a hair farther apart between them, but that's good enough. It's done, and that's the way it's going to stay. Yeah. I gotta finish tightening up the rest of the exhaust though before I can finally mount that. So the tubing under here, it comes out here, so I'll have it come at an angle, just come across to meet with it up in here, and that should do it. This thing's slowly getting there, slowly getting by. Got the tank and all the stainless lines. I ran 1/2-inch fuel line up to the front. It's a pretty much a quick fill fuel hose there. Goes straight into that tank, shouldn't be a problem. And got my crankcase evac hooked up. And I'm sure there is some debate online about running crankcase evac kits with mufflers. But they will work with or without mufflers. And then of course you have a one-way check valve. Has to be in the bottom to keep any exhaust from coming back up in this direction, because remember they ran early on with catalytic converters, they ran these one-way check valves in there with smog pumps, and they can handle the heat. It's not going to cause back pressure to come up into the crankcase at all. So that'll work just fine. And I guess that's it for today. And it's a short one, but I'm pretty excited about how it turned out. So I'll see you next time.